there's so many random content houses nowadays? We got the Bop House, the Glow House, the Bruz House.
How about we make an employment house?
Or maybe the
Let's all get a job house.
Alright man, welcome back to another video. Hope your day is going good. And in today's video, man, we got a special one. This one is sent to us, believe it or not, by email. Shout out to bro. Channel's name is Inside Flick. I see he's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to say one more thing, guys. If you guys do want to send us reactions, you can link it to us in our Discord, man. We're more active on Discord, more likely to see it on stream all the time. Today's video is the Bop House is more disturbing than you think. So we kind of briefly covered the Bop House in a past topics before. This is very similar to the OF stuff that we talked about. So we're about to find out more on bro's insight.
With the explosion of rich young influencers and influencer mansions becoming content houses, becoming the norm on social media, you had the OG Team 10 back in 2016, fronted by Jake Paul, the guy who gave us such an amazing masterpiece with
It's everyday, bro, with the Disney Channel flow.
the song we all thought was fire in the 6th grade. Then came the Hype House in 2019, a revolving door of the biggest TikTokers of that time during that 2019 to 2020 era. We're talking about Charlie D'Amelio, Addison Rae, and a whole lot of randoms that no one else remembers. And now, things like this have just started to happen way more often.
Why are there so many random content houses nowadays? We got the Bop House, the Glow House, the Bruz House.
How about we make an employment house?
Or maybe the
Let's all get a job house.
I mean,
But the creator house that's been making all the noise lately, and not for good reasons, and hopefully not in the actual house itself, but it's the Bop House, which is actually what we're going to be discussing today. But the Bop House isn't your typical creator mansion. There are no cringy prank videos, no drama over who's dating who, no one is fighting over whose turn it is to clean the house. None of that. Probably because they are making literal millions of dollars and don't have to worry about those things. But it's being dubbed as a Playboy Mansion 2.0, rebuilt for the TikTok generation, ran by OnlyFans influencer. It's basically 7 young women living together in a massive content house, bringing in millions of dollars every single month by building a brand around these viral thirst traps, overly feminine, and dance videos to lure a certain audience, and just generally seeing how much of a line they truly can cross. And now, Piper Raquel, a once young YouTuber with millions of young fans, and who is still only 17 years old, is suddenly appearing in content with the Bop House. And people are definitely asking a ton of questions, and wondering how this even happened for the right reasons. Because if you've been watching closely, it looks like this is all building up in a pretty calculated way by the girls in the Bop House. If there's one thing I'll give credit to the Bop House for, they are masters of the marketing game on these platforms. They know how to draw ye-balls on their content. On TikTok and Instagram, you see them on every meme page, every promotion in the comments. And with Piper now in their circle, it's causing a super huge backlash for the right reasons. A lot of people are genuinely worried, mainly because of the Bop House's content being posted, the platforms they're using, and the staggering money fueling it all. In this video, we'll break down what the Bop House really is, explore all the controversy surrounding them, dive into Piper Raquel's strange connection, and make sense of all the chaos involved. Before we go any further, we need to answer the big question. What is the Bop House exactly? We're talking about who they are, what they do, how the hell they are racking in all this ridiculous cash, and what's driving their huge popularity to a scale we've never seen before. I'm going to be referring to the platform OnlyFans, known as OF, and I've already done a whole video on how that platform is ruining our society, and one of the women mentioned in this video, so maybe check that out first, or after, to get the full context. The Bop House is a content creator house that was founded in December 2024 by two women, Sophie Rain and Aisha. Sophie Rain is 20 years old, Aisha is 22. This house, which is absolutely enormous, is located in Fort Lauderdale, South Florida, and it was originally home to 8 women, but now it's down to 7. All the women in the house primarily make their living through the adult subscription platform OnlyFans. While influencers' houses have been around forever, as I mentioned, you have Team 10, the Hype House, the Glow House, and the no job application houses yet. But the Bop House is without a doubt the
Already
most
this
controversial
bro
one yet.
taught us
This is
more than
because
we
all the
heard.
members are self-proclaimed workers or adult entertainers, and they all cross-promote each other's work to maximize the reach on social media, and their income especially. But the Bop House, they are about securing their moolah. They want the paper, y'all. Include Aisha, Alina, Camilla, Julia, Summer, Ava, and of course, the most famous one, Sophie Rain. Their ages range from about 19 to 24. Despite only launching in December 2024, not a long time in the real world, but an eternity in the internet time, that their main account only has 3.4 million followers. Now, obviously, 3.4 million is a massive number, but people bring this up because the individual members all have huge followings on their own. For example, Camilla has 9 million followers, Alina has 5.7 million, Aisha has 6.5 million, and Sophie Rain has almost 12 million followers. So this difference has led some to question if the Bop House is really as culturally significant as the hype makes it seem. Maybe people don't feel the need to follow the main house page if they're already following the girls individually, or maybe they just don't want to be seen following that page. But honestly, if you are following the girls already, I don't think you would really have any shame as a guy. And I think the follower court for them isn't as important as the views, and engagement anyway, on the videos. If you look at the Bop House page, and their own separate pages, their videos get tens of millions of views, and I know that TikTok RPM is no joke. People are coming back again and again. And to me, it's kinda sad to see how dedicated this audience is. As I mentioned, the house started with 8 members, but is now down to 7. This is because Joy May left the group, and she left because the very controversy we're about to look into. On February 26, 2025, Joy posted a YouTube video explaining why she left the Bop House, and it was messy.
All of the main girls were fine with it. So, yeah, they probably didn't care about my opinion, and that's why they did it anyway. So after that, I'm gonna leave. It's not just the one thing of this happened that I wanna leave. No, it's the fact that they never listen. They never make me feel better about anything. They don't care about me. They don't care about my opinion. Their half apologies on the internet does not make me feel better. Their half apologies of recording themselves trying to apologize to prove that they did it does not make me feel better. I don't know who it would make feel better, like honestly. So yeah, I'm sorry, but they want to be the main characters on their page. I'll be the main character on my own. So I'm left. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't know what else to say, but the facts of the situation. Not, oh, I think this, I think that. No, the facts of the situation. And for the ones that have defended me and the ones that have like saw my point of view and seen why I'm acting the way I do, I love you guys so much for that. I love you guys.
To be honest with you, gang, I'm be real, man. I really don't. I don't. You chose this life.
So much for defending me and trying to make people see why I'm feeling the way I feel. So hopefully with this video being out, this is exactly how I feel. This is why I did what I did. That's pretty much it. I just want to come out and say that.
You could tell she was mad and ready to spill all the tea.
Like,
she said she didn't feel heard or respected in the house, that the other girls ignored her concerns and didn't give her privacy she needed. But what really pushed things over the edge was Piper. Joy felt super uncomfortable with an underage girl hanging around the house, being in the videos, and being part of the content they were putting out on those platforms. The rest of the group, though, didn't seem to have one problem with it at all. They were just having fun making TikToks, mostly Aisha and Sophie, but a few of the other girls popped in too. And honestly, if you didn't know the backstory about the Bop House, or Piper, you probably wouldn't think twice about those videos. Piper was just able to blend right in. She embodied the Bop House aesthetic so well. And that's exactly what makes this whole situation even more troubling. It shows you exactly what kind of aesthetic the Bop House was trying to push out, and how profitable that youthful look is. After those TikToks were posted, Joy had enough and decided to bounce. The other girls threw up some apology videos on TikTok, but honestly, they seemed completely forced and off. At first, I was convinced it was all staged for drama, because these girls' management teams are absolute marketing geniuses. There was even a video of Joy throwing a Starbucks drink at Aisha, while Aisha was trying to apologize for the Piper situation.
Yippee. Okay, so I got myself a drink, and then I got her a strawberry acai lemonade.
I told you I don't want to fuck you. Get the fuck out.
Apparently, Aisha secretly recorded these moments and posted them to TikTok without Joy's consent, which just made Joy look unhinged and sparked even more drama. Like, how did you even secretly record that when she's propping up the camera right in front of her? Why would you post it? It just looked like planned drama. But now I'm not so sure if it's fake. because Joy has since launched her own rival content house called the Asian House. Joy's Asian House seems to actually be doing okay. It has close to 300,000 followers, but it's definitely not as big as the Bop House. But they are for sure throwing shade back at their old housemates. The Bop House functions as both a home and a digital marketing machine. By living together, the girls can collaborate constantly, pump out a ton of content, and tap into each other's audiences for a crazy amount of growth. This kind of content visibility is essential in the digital world, especially for creators in the adult entertainment space who can't just openly promote their work. On mainstream platforms like Instagram or TikTok, you have to post constantly so people don't forget you exist. You reach out to pages to promote you or your brand every day.
Bro, gang, imagine OF becoming so mainstream that they have to have their own little niches in. Like, that's what this shit is now. It's not the Bop House. Now it's gonna be like, okay, Bop House is too mainstream. I can't just come out with a whole bunch of other harlots. Let's make them all Asian this time.
Yeah.
Then what's gonna be next? The Hindi house, and then there's gonna be the list goes on, bro.
It's a fast track to burnout, so that's why most of these girls have managers that run everything for them. Since these women can't directly promote their OF content, they have to use TikTok to create PG-friendly videos that serve as an advertisement, drawing their audience to their main product. The term BOP in Bop House stands for a baddie on point, a phrase they claim they are trying to rename and rebrand, it seems like. The term BOP became super popular on social media around 2021 and has very bad backlash being called, especially for young women. The actual definition for BOP is a slang term for a person who has had many partners or who's present themselves online in a way that is thought of as immodest, such as posting pictures or videos with revealing clothing. Bop is often used with another word, such as lollabop or school bop. While it can be used to describe men, the majority of use is reference to women. So by using this term in their branding, the Bop House members are both acknowledging and challenging the hate they get. And honestly, they could not care less about the criticism, because you know why? The money these girls receive off their platforms is absolutely crazy. In fact, guess how much money these women are making as a group in their very first month? They made $10 million. Yes, y'all, $10 million in 1 month. I saw a TikTok clip with Camilla, one of the members, going around the Bop House asking members how much they made last month. And just hear the clip. This is ridiculous.
All right, how much did you make last month?
6 million.
All right, next person. That was underwhelming. How much did you make last month?
Underwhelming?
Like around 2.5.
Do you feel poor yet? How much did you make last month?
Wow.
1 million.
How much did you make last month?
I just made 100K last month.
How much did you make last month? $600?
You were telling me this woman is making $6 million a month? It's insane.
It just goes to show you, bro. I keep saying all these females on social media saying they broke, they need this, they need that from a nigga. Y'all got the easiest route. All you gotta do is look good.
So when you telling me that they should do that?
Hell no. All I'm saying is, y'all ain't gotta do shit but look good. That's it. Niggas gotta do all type of shit.
Niggas gotta develop skills and shit.
And here I am making YouTube videos. With that income, they can easily afford their $75,000 a month.
I'm just saying,
that's
y'all
almost
gonna
$1 million
take
a
advantage.
year
I'm
just
here
for rent.
crying
But that's nothing when you're pulling in $10 million a month. Now though, let's talk about Piper Raquel and the controversy with the Bop House. Piper is one of those influencers who feels like she's been on the internet.
Nah, I ain't say OL.
She started out doing little kid pageants and modeling, but she really blew up when she started posting on YouTube. She got famous for prank content, challenges, and creating all this cutesy couple content with whoever she was dating. She started making videos when she was only 8 years old with the help of her mom, Tiffany Smith, and her mom's boyfriend. From fake crushes to stage drama with her friend group, known as The Squad, Piper's main channel pulled in 3 billion views, and she was making an insane amount of money. It was reported she was making around 300 to 500K per month during the peak of her YouTube score. Imagine making that much money as a kid? Fast forward to today, and Piper has over 10 million subscribers on YouTube and 6.5 million followers on Instagram. She's got a few pop songs and has appeared in some kids' web shows like Money and Chicken Girls. So she's very well known, even though she's only 17 years old right now. Her most
Damn.
viewed
Yeah,
video
that's what
is
this
a
is
song
about.
called Baby I, which she posted 4
Shawty
years
was
ago
17.
and has over 49 million views. But this is where things get a little weird and concerning. The title of the video is Baby I by Piper Raquel, which is fine. But then it says, first kiss on camera. Whoa! My question is, why is that in the title of a music video? Keep in mind, her mom, who is basically a momager like Kris Jenner, was helping manage her channel. So her mom had a lot
so
to
this
say in
getting
these
deep.
titles. Piper would have been around
Yeah.
13
Yeah,
or
deep.
14
The
at the
mom
time,
is
and you're
taking the
putting
code
first
from
kiss
her-
caught
from
on
Kris
camera
Jenner.
in the title? You know who else this type of video was appealing to? Creeps. I just feel
Yep.
like there's a darker reason they put that in the title, and it wasn't just to attract
Yep.
other teenagers.
Yep.
One thing a lot of people do seem to
Yep.
agree on is their
Yep.
dislike for Piper's mom. A lot of people do
Tad.
not like Tiffany Smith. Back in 2022, a bunch of former members of
This is
Piper's
sad.
old
It's gonna
content
lead
group,
to a lot
The
of
Squad,
trauma for this
sued
girl.
Piper's mom. Tiffany, alleging, did some really dark things like abuse, exploitation, and just general chaos behind the scenes. That lawsuit was quietly settled for $1.85 million in 2024, which says a lot. Tiffany denied everything and blamed it all on money-hungry ex-friends. Piper, who was still a minor, just said the whole thing was
I
painful
believe
and
it.
confusing for her. A lot of people pointed out how disgusting it was that Tiffany positioned herself as a caregiver to all these kids while basically using them for content. Tiffany claimed the videos were just for fun, but in reality, these kids were allegedly overworked, underpaid, and put through a lot of chaos. The whole thing just shows the massive, unregulated problem of child influencers. These kids were under immense pressure to perform, faking crushes and drama all for views. And now, Netflix is dropping a documentary about Piper and her former group. It's going to be a 3-part series digging into what really happened behind the scenes. This documentary isn't just about Piper, it's about the bigger issue of turning these poor young kids into a money grab. But now let's shift back to the Bop House. When the house launched in December 2024, for some bizarre reason, fans started saying that Piper should join. Even if she weren't a minor, the girls in the Bop House quickly shut that down, with Sophie Rain and others posting a video joking about the legal trouble they get into if they added Piper to their group. They even made a skit about getting arrested for hiring her. Piper then responded with her own playful video saying,
Damn.
"Don't worry girls, I'll bail you out," keeping the whole thing light despite the backlash. But they shouldn't have been entertaining the idea at all. Piper is a minor. She can't be on that platform until she's 18. But even before all this, Piper had been criticized for being provocative as a teenager, with many people pointing fingers at her mom, Tiffany. I'm sure we'll learn more about that in the Netflix documentary. When people say Piper is provocative, she really reminds me of Danielle Cohn. They had a very similar path in terms of social media fame and how their mothers managed their online personas. Danielle is also an influencer and model, and there was that whole mess about her real age. It just feels like a very similar situation, with parents pushing their kids to act a certain way online for the bag. Danielle was definitely wearing and doing things that were not appropriate for a teenager, and it seems like her mother knew it, which is why they were so secretive about her age. You just see this pattern of parents basically pimping out their kids. But let's get back to the Bop House controversy, because that's a whole other video. Starting in February, Piper began posting videos with the Bop House members, and some of them seem to be filmed at the actual house. The videos are your standard TikTok fare, just dancing and lip syncing. At first glance, they seem harmless, but they sparked a huge controversy because Piper is underage, and the Bop House brand is explicitly adult. People were not happy about her being in that environment. Aisha, one of the founders, made a TikTok trying to do damage control, saying Piper is not part of the Bop House.
I would be just as mad as you if Piper was joining the Bop House, but that's not what's happening, and that's
She
not.
claimed that she and Sophie just happened to run into Piper at the mall, so they decided to go back to Sophie's house to make some TikToks. There's just no way though. She seriously thinks people are that gullible to believe that? That you and Sophie just happened to run into her at the mall right after this whole Piper should join the Bop House thing started? This was a setup for views and content. We know y'all trying to stir up drama and content. They have so many TikToks with Piper, but the most concerning one is with Aisha and Sophie, and the text on the screen says, "Welcoming Piper to our house. They know exactly what they are doing and how it looks." It looks like she's joining the Bop House, even if they didn't say those exact words. But Piper's response to all the criticism is pretty telling. She's clearly not bothered. On February 24th, she posted a video with the Bop House members with the text, "How many times are they going to cry about me being at the Bop House?" People had a lot to say about that. Because of this whole situation with Piper, the Bop House markets themselves on TikTok, which is an app full of kids. Their page looks PG friendly. It looks fun and innocent. It's easy to see how they could attract a younger audience who has no idea what they're actually promoting. And that's the problem. They're not just targeting clients. It feels like they're also targeting young kids, impressionable girls who see this glamorous lifestyle and think, wow, I want that life she has. They never talk about the mental health aspect or the risks behind the social media stardom. It's easy to see why some people might view this as an influencer's dream. You're making millions, gaining tons of followers, and living in a huge mansion that costs only 10% of your guy's income per month. But like I've been saying, the whole setup is just so strange. And I'm not the only one who thinks that. A lot of people have called out the Bop House for what it represents, and they have some valid criticism. One of the biggest concerns critics have is the online safety of younger audiences. The house operates mainly on TikTok and Instagram, those two platforms that are filled with children. And even though their content on those platforms isn't explicit, it serves as a direct gateway to their explicit material on OF, which kids can easily find these days with a couple clicks of a button. With these creators, who are mostly in their early 20s and late teens, posting on platforms with so many underage followers, there's a real...
What do y'all think they're promoting, bro? Every picture or video you see, they got on something skimpy. They got on something that's showing their belly button, their shape. Except for this one picture. This is the most wholesome picture right here on the left that I've seen throughout this whole video.
risk that they could influence younger people to aspire to become adult creators themselves. This has been talked about on podcasts, and people have confronted Sophie Rain about it, where they asked for her view on it.
But I don't want bad stuff like flying around my name. I don't want people thinking that I advertise last thing.
But I will say, parents can do everything right, and a kid can still see this content on a friend's phone, or just randomly scrolling, and it's a tough situation to be in as a parent. Another big issue is that the Bop House takes pride in what they do. They constantly flex how much money they make, how Sophie Rain made $43 million last year from OF alone. They show off the mansion, the fun, the parties, but you will never, ever hear them talk about the downsides, the dangers, or the emotional toll of being in that industry. They are selling a lifestyle, and let's be real, most people who try to do what they do will not make $43 million a year, or even close to $100,000.
Yep.
They're selling a fantasy. You see people online flexing all the gifts and money, but again, they never talk about the danger, the power dynamics, or the moral compromises. Another major point of controversy is Sophie Rain herself, the most popular member. She has publicly stated that she is a devout Christian who promotes chastity and virginity. She even wears a promise ring. At the same time, she makes tens of millions of dollars on OF.
Really, I'm a Christian. Like, I know it's like, it seems odd. I'm doing, what did you call it? OnlyFriends? I don't do anything else with anyone on my OnlyFriends. Like, it's just...
This massive contradiction has led to a lot of people questioning her real motives. Critics argue she's using her religious image as a branding tactic, playing into the pure virgin stereotype to make her content more marketable. It's like she's trying to appeal to two completely different worlds at once, and it's a very weird dynamic. But the thing is, it's working for her. It's also working because she looks so young. And one of the most uncomfortable criticisms the Bop House faces is about how they present themselves, mostly their physical appearances. One of the members, Julia, has been at the center of this. Julia made $54,000 in her first week on OF. After she revealed this, another member, Camilla, said on camera, "Y'all are sick because she looks 12. That clip went viral, gaining over 19 million views. That single clip sparked a huge discussion. It's odd that Camilla is pointing this out when she is a willing participant in the whole thing, hosting these interviews and hugging the girls as they say how much they make."
Everyone knows you made $54,000 in a week. I need to know what the month ended like.
As like a friend, or like, are you gonna tell them? Like, do you just want to know, like, for you?
Yeah, I just want to know because I'm curious. $54,000 in a week? I want to see the month. $400,000.
Is that good?
$424,700. $424,000.
The Bop House is built on this very formula. Maybe she genuinely understands how disturbing it is, but it also just flat out looks like she's riding the wave
to say to y'all real quick
that comes from this attention. I've also seen a lot of people compare the Bop House to the Playboy
right now. Let me say something real quick. You want to just notice how this is why they're taking advantage of younger women? A more mature woman would not have allowed her numbers to be spoken out like that. Would have had more control to be like, no, I don't want to broadcast. But because these girls are young, the dynamic is the older girl can just come and manipulate and take advantage. Hey, give me your phone and read out her number. You see, she could have been playing dumb to say, is that good for the camera? But the dichotomy of, you're going to just do this. She could just tell her, hey, you're going to do this. I'm going to reveal how much.
Yeah.
You got to go with it. You know what I'm saying?
Mansion. And sure, there are similarities. Young,
crazy.
attractive women living together, creating adult-oriented content, and building a brand, but the context is
Shit
different.
crazy,
The
bro.
Playboy Mansion was run by Hugh Hefner. He was in control. The Playboy Bunnies had to follow his strict rules. With the Bop House, the women are their own bosses. They control what they post and how they make their bread. The whole situation is just weird, and it feels like it's only getting weirder. There's still no
they're
official
in control of how
confirmation
they
on
make
whether
their
Piper
bread.
will join the Bop House, but at this rate, I wouldn't be surprised.
Everyone thinks I hang out with them for like other reasons, but once I'm 18, and unfortunately it's nobody's choice, I will be an adult. I actually was just thinking like, this is my last year as a freaking child. Like this is my last summer.
If she does join, the controversy and the backlash will be massive, but so will the money. I honestly wouldn't be shocked if she made $1 million on her first day on the platform, like other creators in the past have. What makes this so uncomfortable is that the content they've already made with her feels like a slow burn marketing campaign. They're feeding the audience just enough to stir some drama, planting the idea in people's heads, so that when, or if, it actually happens, they'll have an audience right there waiting for the drama and ready to pay up. If there's one thing the Bop House is good at, it's marketing and planning ahead. They know exactly what to do next and how to go viral.
Yeah.
There's a good video by bro. I'm gonna make sure. Show that man. I love, man.
Sir.
Another good vid. Broski?
Yeah, this was definitely a tactic to get some attention, bro. I believe they probably wanted Shorty to join initially, but once they seen they was getting a backlash, that's when they tried to play it off like, she's not joining. Yeah, bro, but if y'all would have went with it like, yeah, I'm so glad she joining, I bet she would have been in the group. Yeah, bro, they just using sex appeal to boost up their OnlyFans. That's all they really doing for real, bro.
Anyways, man, y'all already made it to the end of another video, man. As I said in the beginning, this was a video sent by a viewer. Trying to send videos to us like he did, and send it to us in our Discord. QR code to the hub right here. But you already know, man. Love y'all. Great for y'all, man. Binge the rest of the videos on the channel. We gonna catch y'all in the next one.